Your enemy's greatest weapon is your reaction. Be still, be wise, and you defeat them without lifting a finger. The best way to defeat your enemy is to let your success become their greatest defeat. The strongest weapon you can wield against your enemy is your calm, your wisdom, and your unwavering focus. The more you remain unshaken in your values, the more you force your enemies to reveal their weakness. When you refuse to play their game, you make your enemy irrelevant and show them the true meaning of strength. What if I told you that you could defeat your enemy without ever lifting a finger? Sounds impossible, right? Well, in this video, I'm going to share 13 powerful Stoic ways to destroy your enemy without ever fighting them. These methods don't require violence, anger, or any of the typical responses people expect. Instead, you'll learn how to use your mind, your character, and your actions to defeat them in the most effective way possible. Imagine turning every attack, every obstacle, and every challenge into an opportunity for you to grow stronger. Curious yet? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to handle any enemy, no matter how tough they seem. So let's dive in and start breaking down the power of Stoic wisdom to change your life for the better. Number 1. Master your emotions and stay calm. A true victor is not someone who fights battles recklessly, but one who gains control over themselves before attempting to influence others. If you wish to defeat your enemy without lifting a hand, you must first master your own emotions. When others provoke you, they aim to pull you into their chaos. They thrive on your reaction, hoping to disrupt your peace and distract you from your purpose. If you react with anger, frustration, or hatred, you have already given them power over you. But if you remain calm, if you refuse to let their actions disturb your inner stability, you strip them of that control. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. You cannot control the wind, nor can you silence the thunder, but you can remain steady, rooted, and unshaken. When someone insults you or tries to harm you, it is not their words or actions that hurt you. It is your judgment of those words or actions. A person cannot truly harm you unless you allow them to. So, instead of reacting impulsively, pause. Take a moment to breathe, reflect, and decide whether their attempt at provocation even deserves your attention. Most often it does not. Your calmness is your strength. People expect retaliation when they provoke you. They expect anger, defensiveness, or aggression. By staying composed, you disarm them entirely. Their attacks lose their power because they fail to provoke the reaction they desire. Your calm presence sends a clear message. You are above their chaos. You are not ruled by fleeting emotions or the petty schemes of others. But how does one master emotions? It begins with self-awareness. You must know what triggers you and why. Reflect on your thoughts and actions daily. Recognize when anger or frustration starts to rise and question its source. Is it truly the external event that disturbs you, or is it your perception of it? Most often, it is the latter. Once you understand this, you can train your mind to respond with reason instead of impulse. To master emotions, you must also practice discipline. Set aside time each day to reflect on your goals and values. Ask yourself, does reacting to this person align with my higher purpose? Is this momentary conflict worth disturbing my peace? Remind yourself that your time and energy are precious and not every battle is worth fighting. Additionally, practice detachment. Understand that you cannot control the actions of others, only your response to them. If someone criticizes you unfairly, it is their problem, not yours. Their opinion does not define your worth unless you allow it to. Detachment does not mean apathy, it means choosing where to invest your energy. When you detach from unnecessary drama, you free yourself to focus on what truly matters. Remember, your enemy's greatest weakness is their dependence on your reaction. If they cannot provoke you, they lose their power. By staying calm, you not only protect your inner peace, but also assert dominance in a way that no physical battle ever could. You show them that you are unshaken, unbothered, and untouchable. Calmness is contagious. When you maintain your composure, even in the face of provocation, you inspire respect and admiration in those around you. People gravitate toward those who remain steady under pressure. Your calm presence becomes a silent but powerful weapon, dismantling the chaos of your enemies without a single word of confrontation. Number 2. Strengthen yourself through self-discipline daily. True power lies in the mastery of oneself. The individual who strengthens their mind, body, and spirit through daily discipline becomes untouchable by the schemes of their enemies. While your adversaries may focus on external forces, wealth, influence, or fleeting pleasures, you must focus inward. Your preparation is not for the fleeting battles of the world, but for the enduring battle within. This strength, cultivated through discipline, becomes your shield and sword, allowing you to defeat enemies without confrontation. Discipline begins with clarity. Ask yourself, what do I truly seek in life? What values guide my actions? Once you know these answers, you can shape your daily habits to align with them. Without this foundation, your actions lack direction, and you leave yourself vulnerable to distractions and temptations. Each day, commit yourself to routines that sharpen your mind and body. Wake early, plan your day, and focus on what matters. Start by training your body. Physical strength is not just a matter of health, but a symbol of self-control. When you push through discomfort, whether through exercise or enduring challenges, you prove to yourself that you can overcome difficulties. This builds not only strength, but also resilience. The person who trains their body daily cannot be easily broken by life's hardships, nor by the schemes of their enemies. When you are strong, their words and actions feel insignificant. Discipline your mind as well. Set aside time to learn, reflect, and grow. Read deeply, observe the world around you, and question your assumptions. A disciplined mind is sharp, prepared for any challenge, and immune to manipulation. Your enemies thrive on your ignorance and impulsiveness. By strengthening your intellect, you ensure that you cannot be easily deceived or provoked. Control your impulses. Nothing weakens a person more than giving in to fleeting desires. Whether it is anger, greed, or indulgence, every unchecked impulse makes you vulnerable. Each time you resist temptation, you grow stronger. You show yourself that your higher goals matter more than temporary satisfaction. Your enemies may try to provoke you with insults or temptations, but your self-discipline renders their efforts meaningless. They cannot sway someone who is in control of themselves. Discipline also requires consistency. It is not enough to act wisely once. You must do so daily. Build habits that reinforce your strength, no matter how small. Every disciplined action is a victory over chaos and weakness. Whether it is waking up at the same time, practicing gratitude, or committing to a goal, these acts add up. Over time, they form an unshakable foundation that no enemy can penetrate. Another key to self-discipline is patience. Strength does not come overnight. It is the result of deliberate effort repeated over weeks, months, and years. Do not rush the process or expect immediate results. Your enemies may seek quick victories, but you must play the long game. Every day of disciplined effort brings you closer to your goals, while their impatience leads them to failure. Discipline strengthens your integrity. Live in alignment with your principles. Do what is right, even when it is difficult or unpopular. Your enemies may attempt to tarnish your reputation or tempt you to compromise your values. But a person with strong principles cannot be shaken. When you act with integrity, you gain the respect of others and the confidence that no one can expose you, for you are already true to yourself. Discipline is your silent weapon. It sharpens your mind, fortifies your body, and strengthens your spirit. The disciplined individual does not need to fight battles with their enemies, for they have already won the war within. While others waste their energy on fleeting victories, you remain steady, focused, and unstoppable. By strengthening yourself through self-discipline, you do not just overcome your enemies, you transcend them entirely. Number 3. Understand your enemy's weaknesses and fears. If you wish to neutralize an enemy without engaging in conflict, you must first understand them fully. The key to overcoming any opponent lies in knowing their vulnerabilities, their fears, and their motivations. But this understanding is not born of hatred or malice. It comes from observation, patience, and reason. To see clearly, you must set aside your emotions and study them with a calm and objective mind. Every person has weaknesses. Your task is to uncover what they are without revealing your intentions. Watch how your enemy reacts in moments of stress. Pay attention to their words and actions when they are challenged. Do they lash out in anger? Do they retreat in fear? These reactions reveal the cracks in their armor. A person's weaknesses are often tied to their insecurities, ambitions, or lack of control over their emotions. Your enemy's fears are often their greatest vulnerability. Fear is a powerful force that drives irrational behavior. Some fear losing their status, others fear being exposed for who they truly are, and many fear isolation or rejection. Once you understand what they fear, you gain the ability to disarm them. You do not need to attack them outright. Simply knowing their fears allows you to predict their actions and counter them without effort. Understanding your enemy also involves identifying their desires. What drives them? Is it greed, pride, or the need for control? A person's desires often blind them to reason and lead them into traps of their own making. For example, a person driven by greed will overreach, while someone consumed by pride will refuse to admit their mistakes. Use this knowledge to outmaneuver them without confrontation. To understand another person deeply, you must first practice self-restraint. Do not act impulsively or reveal your own plans. Let them believe they hold the upper hand while you quietly gather information. Patience is your ally. Most people expose their weaknesses over time, either through careless words or reckless actions. Let them show you who they are while you remain silent and observant. Your enemy's relationships often reveal their weaknesses. Watch how they interact with others. Are they overly dependent on certain allies? Do they seek constant validation? These dependencies can be leveraged. When a person relies too heavily on others, they make themselves vulnerable to betrayal or isolation. Recognizing these dynamics allows you to undermine their position without direct confrontation. Understanding your enemy does not mean stooping to their level. It means arming yourself with knowledge so you can act wisely and decisively. Once you know their weaknesses, you can control the situation without engaging in conflict. You can avoid traps they set for you, redirect their focus, or dismantle their plans without ever lifting a hand. By understanding their weaknesses, you also gain an important advantage: the ability to maintain your calm. When you see through their facade, their attempts to provoke or intimidate you lose their power. Their insults, schemes, or manipulations no longer affect you because you know their actions stem from their own fears and insecurities. Number 4. Cultivate patience and outlast their impulsiveness. True strength lies not in reacting to every provocation, but in mastering the art of patience. When faced with an enemy, the Stoic path is to endure and outlast, letting time work in your favor. Your enemy's impulsiveness, driven by anger, pride, or desperation, will often lead them to their own downfall. Patience allows you to stand firm, while their recklessness unravels their plans. To destroy an enemy without conflict, you must embrace patience as your greatest weapon. Patience begins with control over your emotions. Resist the urge to respond immediately to their provocations. Impulsive reactions are a sign of weakness, revealing your vulnerabilities to the enemy. Instead, remain calm and composed. This composure not only frustrates their attempts to unsettle you, but also gives you clarity to see the situation for what it truly is. A calm mind makes better decisions, while an impulsive one stumbles into traps. Time is a powerful ally for those who are patient. Many enemies act out of a desire for quick victories. They make rash decisions, overextend themselves, or expose their weaknesses in their haste to achieve their goals. When you refuse to engage on their terms, you force them to act out of frustration. Their impulsiveness becomes their undoing as they make mistakes that can be quietly exploited. To cultivate patience, you must embrace endurance. Challenges and provocations will test your resolve, but each moment you endure without reacting strengthens your position. Endurance is not about passively waiting. It is about actively choosing to hold your ground while others falter. Every insult you ignore, every trap you sidestep, and every scheme you outlast increases your advantage over the enemy. Observe your enemy closely as you wait. Patience is not idleness. It is a time for careful study and preparation. Watch how their impulsiveness manifests. Do they speak without thinking? Do they rush into actions without considering the consequences? Each reckless move they make gives you insight into their character and their weaknesses. With this knowledge, you can act decisively when the time is right. Patience also requires trust in the natural course of events. Often, your enemy's schemes will collapse under their own weight without any intervention from you. Impulsiveness leads to instability. When a person acts without foresight, they create chaos that eventually consumes them. Trust that their lack of control will lead them to their own ruin, and focus instead on maintaining your stability. Outlasting an enemy does not mean remaining passive forever. There will come a time when their impulsiveness leaves them exposed, and patience has given you the opportunity to act with precision. This moment, born of waiting and observing, will allow you to neutralize their influence without unnecessary conflict. Your calculated response, guided by wisdom and restraint, will achieve far more than any impulsive retaliation. Patience is also a sign of inner strength. When you refuse to be provoked, you demonstrate to your enemy and to yourself that you are in control. This control is disarming. It shows that you cannot be manipulated or shaken. It leaves your enemy powerless, for they thrive on chaos, and your patience denies them the opportunity to exploit it. Patience allows you to maintain your dignity and integrity. Reacting impulsively often leads to regret, while patience ensures that your actions are deliberate and aligned with your values. While your enemy may resort to dishonorable tactics, your patience keeps you on a higher path. This moral strength not only protects you, but also commands respect from others, further weakening your enemy's influence. Number 5. Win respect through virtuous, honorable actions. The greatest victory over an enemy comes not through confrontation, but by living a life that commands respect and admiration. To truly disarm an adversary, let your actions speak louder than any words or retaliations. Virtue and honor are unassailable strengths, and they have the power to diminish your enemy's influence without a single act of aggression. When you stand firm in integrity, even your enemies are forced to acknowledge your greatness. Virtuous actions are rooted in self-control, justice, and kindness. Begin by ensuring that every choice you make aligns with these principles. A person who acts with honor builds a reputation that cannot be tarnished by the schemes or accusations of others. Your steadfast commitment to doing what is right will make your enemy's attempts to harm you appear petty and ineffective. Honor comes from fairness and treating others with respect, even when dealing with those who seek to harm you. Stoicism teaches that your character is defined not by how others treat you, but by how you respond. Choose dignity over vengeance, humility over pride, and fairness over partiality. When you consistently act with virtue, others will see the truth of your character, and your enemy's influence will wane in the face of your moral strength. Your enemy may attempt to provoke you into actions that betray your principles. Refuse to give them this satisfaction. By remaining grounded in virtue, you deny them any claim over your actions or reputation. A person who lives by their values cannot be controlled or defeated by external forces. Your integrity becomes your armor, protecting you from their attacks and elevating you above their reach. Winning respect also requires consistency. Honor is not earned through a single noble act, but through a lifetime of virtuous behavior. Every decision you make, no matter how small, shapes how others perceive you. When people witness your unwavering commitment to what is right, they will stand by you, even in the face of opposition. Your enemy, seeing this support, will realize their inability to isolate or diminish you. True respect is earned through deeds, not words. Avoid boasting about your virtues or seeking praise for your actions. Let your behavior be your testimony. Humility, combined with honor, is a force few can challenge. When you act selflessly and for the greater good, others will recognize your worth without you needing to demand it. This silent strength speaks volumes and leaves no room for your enemy to undermine you. Virtuous actions also inspire others. When you live honorably, you set an example that encourages those around you to do the same. This influence weakens your enemy's position, as their schemes and dishonesty stand in stark contrast to your integrity. Your actions, rooted in virtue, create a ripple effect, strengthening your allies and diminishing your adversaries. Your honorable behavior will eventually force your enemy to confront their own shortcomings. When faced with your virtue, they will see their own lack of it more clearly. This realization can disarm them more effectively than any confrontation. Many times, the mere presence of integrity exposes and isolates dishonesty and malice, rendering them powerless. Living a virtuous life requires courage. There will be moments when doing what is right feels difficult or even risky. But remember, the Stoic path values long-term strength over short-term comfort. By remaining steadfast in your principles, you not only win respect, but also build unshakable inner peace. This peace, born of a clear conscience, is something your enemy can never take from you. Remember, respect earned through virtue and honor becomes your most powerful weapon. It draws allies to your side, silences critics, and leaves your enemy with no ground to stand on. A person who acts with integrity is invincible, for they are guided not by fear or hatred, but by the unyielding strength of their own character. Through virtuous and honorable actions, you not only defeat your enemy, but rise above them entirely. Number 6. Turn their anger into your advantage wisely. The anger of an enemy is often their greatest weakness, and a Stoic individual can transform it into an opportunity for wisdom and strategy. While anger clouds judgment and fuels impulsive actions, a calm and calculated approach allows you to use their fury against them. Their rage becomes a tool you wield, not by retaliation, but by maintaining control over yourself and the situation. First, recognize that anger blinds your enemy. A person consumed by rage loses the ability to think rationally. they rush into decisions, act without foresight, and expose their vulnerabilities. By staying calm, you force them to act on emotion, while you remain clear-headed and deliberate. Their anger becomes a weapon that harms them more than it harms you. When faced with an enemy's outburst, resist the temptation to respond in kind. Anger met with anger only escalates conflict and puts you on their level. Instead, use their fury as an opportunity to observe. Pay attention to what triggers their emotions and how they react. This observation gives you insight into their fears, insecurities, and weaknesses. With this knowledge, you can predict their moves and counter them effectively. Maintaining composure in the face of anger also sends a powerful message. It shows that you are in control, unshaken by their attempts to provoke you. This frustrates and disorients your enemy, as they expect you to react emotionally. Your calmness highlights their lack of control, making them appear unstable and irrational to others. Patience is key when dealing with an angry opponent. Allow their rage to play out while you remain grounded. Over time, their emotional outbursts will exhaust them, leaving them vulnerable. Their anger-driven actions will likely create opportunities for you to advance your position without direct confrontation. Anger often reveals an enemy's priorities and vulnerabilities. Listen carefully to the words they use and the targets of their frustration. What they express in anger often reflects their deepest concerns. Use this information wisely, not to exploit them cruelly, but to navigate the situation to your advantage. For example, if their anger stems from fear of losing influence, focus on strengthening your alliances quietly while they are distracted by their emotions. In some cases, redirecting an enemy's anger can be more effective than letting it burn out. This requires wisdom and subtlety. By introducing ideas or actions that steer their fury toward a harmless or self-destructive path, you can neutralize their threat without direct confrontation. For instance, if they are angry at you for a perceived slight, address their grievances calmly and shift the focus onto their behavior. This approach forces them to confront their actions and diminishes their ability to justify their anger. Your ability to remain calm also inspires respect and support from others. Observers will see the contrast between your measured demeanor and your enemy's rage. This dynamic strengthens your position as people gravitate towards stability and self-control. Your enemy's anger, when compared to your calmness, diminishes their credibility and influence. Using their anger wisely does not mean exploiting it unethically. Stoicism emphasizes acting with integrity and avoiding harm whenever possible. Your goal is not to manipulate or humiliate your enemy, but to neutralize their hostility through thoughtful and virtuous actions. By refusing to be drawn into their emotional chaos, you protect your dignity and maintain the moral high ground. Anger can also be a mirror, revealing lessons about yourself. If an enemy's fury provokes you, reflect on why their words or actions affect you. This self-awareness helps you grow stronger and more resilient. When you no longer react to anger, you rob it of its power over you. Number 7. Let silence and wisdom defeat insults. The power of silence is underestimated in a world where words are often used as weapons. Stoics understand that an insult holds no power unless you grant it meaning. By responding to insults with silence and wisdom, you strip them of their ability to harm you and leave your enemy disarmed. Silence is not weakness, it is strength in its most controlled form. When faced with an insult, the first rule is to pause. Avoid reacting impulsively, for that is exactly what your adversary desires. Their insult is a bait, a trap to pull you into a cycle of emotional retaliation. Refuse to step into that trap. Take a moment to reflect and recognize the insult for what it is, a fleeting attempt to provoke. Your silence becomes a shield, one that cannot be penetrated by words. Silence speaks volumes. It conveys that the insult is beneath your attention, that your focus lies on higher matters. A person who remains calm in the face of provocation demonstrates immense self-control and maturity. This unnerves your enemy, for their goal was to upset your balance. Instead, they are left grappling with their own frustration, while you remain unshaken. Wisdom teaches us that insults often reveal more about the insulter than the target. A person who resorts to insults exposes their insecurities and lack of self-control. Use this knowledge to strengthen yourself internally. Understand that their words stem from their own struggles, not from any truth about you. This perspective allows you to rise above the insult, untouched by its intended sting. Choosing silence does not mean ignoring the situation entirely. Silence, when combined with wisdom, is an active strategy. Observe your adversary's behavior and analyze their intentions. Why did they hurl the insult? What do they seek to achieve? By understanding their motives, you gain insight into their character and weaknesses. This knowledge can guide your future interactions, ensuring that you remain in control. Responding to an insult with silence is also a lesson in dignity. It shows that you value your peace of mind more than the need to retaliate. Retaliation often drags you into the same negative space as your adversary, diminishing your stature. Silence, on the other hand, elevates you. It reflects a deep confidence in yourself, a certainty that your worth is not defined by someone else's words. There will be times when an insult feels personal and difficult to ignore. In these moments, turn to wisdom. Reflect on what truly matters. Does the opinion of someone who resorts to insults hold any real significance in your life? By focusing on your values and purpose, you can dismiss their words as irrelevant noise. Silence can also teach your adversary a lesson. When their insults fail to elicit a reaction, they are forced to confront the futility of their actions. Over time, they may abandon their attempts to provoke you, realizing that their efforts only highlight their own flaws. In this way, your silence transforms from a defense mechanism into a powerful tool for change. Wisdom also involves knowing when silence must be broken. There are moments when an insult targets something beyond yourself, your values, your loved ones, or your principles. In such cases, respond with calm and measured words. Address the insult with clarity and truth, without anger or malice. This response, rooted in wisdom, defeats the insult not through aggression, but through strength of character. Ultimately, letting silence and wisdom defeat insults is about mastery over yourself. It is a reminder that your peace of mind is within your control, regardless of external provocations. The world is filled with noise, but a Stoic finds clarity in silence. When insults come your way, let them fall away like leaves in the wind, insignificant and fleeting. In doing so, you rise above your enemy, unshaken and invincible. Number 8. Outgrow their pettiness by rising higher. When faced with the pettiness of others, the greatest victory lies not in retaliation, but in rising above it. Stoics teach us that lowering ourselves to the level of those consumed by smallness only serves to diminish our own potential. Elevating ourselves is not about ignoring the problem, but about responding with wisdom, virtue, and a focus on growth. Outgrowing pettiness is more than just a reaction. It is a conscious decision to live a life grounded in purpose, one that reflects our commitment to becoming better every day. Pettiness often stems from insecurity and a lack of vision. Those who focus on trivial matters do so because they are unable or unwilling to address the bigger questions of life. Their energy is spent on distractions, and they seek to drag others into the same cycle. Recognizing this behavior for what it is, a deliberate attempt to disrupt your focus, is the first step toward outgrowing it. The person who chooses not to engage with such distractions preserves their energy for what truly matters. Pettiness may be small in its nature, but it has the potential to consume large portions of your time and emotional reserves if you allow it. By refusing to engage with their smallness, you demonstrate strength that cannot be shaken by trivial provocations. This is not about ignoring the behavior altogether, but about choosing how to respond. You show through your actions that your goals and values outweigh their attempts to disturb your peace. Pettiness thrives on attention, and when you withdraw that attention, you strip it of its power. This is an act of self-respect, acknowledging that your time and energy are far too valuable to waste on meaningless disputes. Personal growth is the ultimate act of rising higher. When others engage in petty behavior, use it as a mirror to reflect on your own actions. Ask yourself if you have ever acted in ways that mirror their smallness. If the answer is yes, make a conscious effort to grow beyond those tendencies. Commit yourself to self-discipline and self-improvement, and you will find that their pettiness becomes less significant. The effort you put into becoming stronger, wiser, and more grounded will transform their negativity into a source of motivation for your own progress. Rising above pettiness is also about aligning your life with virtue. The Stoics believed that virtue, living in accordance with reason and integrity, was the highest good. When faced with triviality, focus on actions that reflect your principles. Choose to act in ways that are honorable and just, even if it feels difficult in the moment. By doing so, you not only rise above their behavior, but also set an example for others. Your virtuous actions become a powerful counterpoint to their smallness. Pettiness often seeks to provoke conflict. Those who engage in it crave validation, whether through attention or a reaction. When you refuse to engage, you deny them this satisfaction. Their attempts to bait you will lose their effectiveness, and over time, they will have no choice but to confront their own irrelevance. This is one of the most effective ways to outgrow their pettiness, by showing them through your calm and composed actions that their behavior has no impact on your life. At times, their actions may sting. This is a natural response, especially if their behavior challenges your ego or touches upon unresolved insecurities. However, such moments are opportunities for self-reflection. Ask yourself why their words or actions affect you. Is it because they hold some truth, or is it simply a blow to your pride? By addressing these questions honestly, you can build resilience and ensure that their smallness no longer has any power over you. The ability to look inward and confront your own vulnerabilities is one of the greatest strengths you can cultivate. Outgrowing pettiness does not mean tolerating harm or injustice. There will be times when their actions escalate beyond mere triviality and pose a real threat to your well-being or principles. In such cases, respond with clarity and strength. Stand firm in your values, not out of anger or pride, but from a place of conviction. By doing so, you show that you are capable of addressing what matters while still rising above what does not. This balance is the hallmark of true strength. Transformation is the ultimate form of power. When you choose to rise higher, you not only outgrow their pettiness, but also inspire others to do the same. Those who once observed the behavior of your adversaries will see the contrast between their smallness and your composure. This will earn you respect and admiration, further diminishing the impact of their actions. Your ability to stay focused on your goals and values becomes a source of inspiration, showing others that it is possible to live a life free from the distractions of triviality. Outgrowing pettiness is not a one-time action. It is a lifelong commitment. Every encounter with triviality is an opportunity to reaffirm your dedication to rising above. Focus on your goals and embrace your values, and you will find that the noise of others becomes less significant. This is not about pretending that their behavior does not exist, but about choosing how much power you will allow it to have over you. By refusing to be distracted, you build a life that stands as a testament to the strength of rising higher. Pettiness, in the end, reveals more about the person engaging in it than the one it targets. When you choose to rise above, you highlight their insecurities while showcasing your own strengths. This is not about shaming them, but about demonstrating through your actions that you are focused on things that truly matter. Your progress becomes undeniable evidence of your superiority, not in a way that seeks to dominate, but in a way that seeks to inspire. Life is too short to be consumed by trivial concerns. Every moment spent engaging with pettiness is a moment lost to meaningful pursuits. Whether it is advancing your career, nurturing relationships, or contributing positively to the world, your time is far better spent on these endeavors than on disputes that lead nowhere. By choosing to focus on what truly matters, you make their smallness irrelevant. Outgrowing pettiness also requires a sense of humility. Recognize that you, too, are capable of acting in ways that reflect smallness. None of us are immune to moments of weakness, and acknowledging this allows us to approach others with compassion. However, compassion does not mean tolerating behavior that seeks to pull you down. It means understanding their actions while still choosing to rise above. The greatest victories are those won without fighting. When you rise higher, you achieve a victory not just over them, but also over yourself, over your own impulses, insecurities, and tendencies to react. This is the essence of Stoicism, mastering yourself so completely that the actions of others cannot disturb your inner peace. By focusing on growth, virtue, and purpose, you ensure that their pettiness becomes a stepping stone rather than an obstacle. Let every instance of pettiness you encounter serve as a reminder of your own strength and potential. Use these moments to grow, to reflect, and to rise. In doing so, you destroy their influence over you and build a life that is truly unshakable. This is how you rise higher, by committing to a life of purpose, integrity, and unwavering focus. This is the Stoic way. Number 9. Gain allies through fairness and understanding. Gaining allies through fairness and understanding is one of the most powerful strategies you can employ in life. This approach stands as a testament to the fact that true strength does not lie in dominating others, but in lifting them up through trust, empathy, and respect. When you choose fairness over favoritism and understanding over judgment, you demonstrate a level of emotional maturity and intelligence that attracts people who share similar values. Fairness and understanding create bonds based on mutual respect and common ground. In a world that often seems divided by conflict, they become the tools that unite, empower, and elevate both you and the people around you. Fairness, in its simplest form, is treating others equally, without bias. It means giving everyone the same opportunity, regardless of background, status, or personal bias. Fairness is not about perfection. It is about being mindful in your approach to others, taking the time to understand their circumstances and making decisions that reflect integrity. It does not rely on personal feelings, but on logic, reason, and a commitment to doing what is right. When you act fairly, you signal to others that you are someone they can trust to make objective decisions that will not benefit one party at the expense of another. People are drawn to fairness because it feels just, transparent, and safe. Fairness can create an environment where people feel valued, respected, and appreciated. The act of being fair is what builds your reputation as a leader, a friend, and a partner. People who have witnessed your fairness in action are more likely to support you because they know that you operate with integrity and consistency. This builds credibility, and credibility creates trust. Trust is the foundation of any strong relationship, whether personal or professional. In the absence of trust, connections become fragile, and loyalty becomes something that can be easily lost. When you gain the trust of others, you also gain their respect. This is what makes fairness such a powerful tool for building lasting relationships. Fairness, however, cannot be achieved without understanding. Understanding is what deepens the connection between you and others, allowing you to relate to their emotions, struggles, and goals. It means seeing things from their perspective and giving them the space to express themselves. Often, when people act out of line, it's not due to malice, but because they are driven by fears, frustrations, and insecurities that they may not even understand themselves. Understanding their motives gives you insight into how to interact with them in a way that is both compassionate and productive. This empathy opens doors for communication and creates a platform for growth in relationships. Understanding is not a passive act. It requires active listening, patience, and vulnerability. It means giving people your full attention, not just waiting for your turn to speak, but truly listening to their words, their tone, and the emotions behind them. When you listen in this way, you send a powerful message. You matter, and in return, people are more likely to listen to you. This creates a cycle of mutual respect and understanding that strengthens your alliances. Through understanding, you can also navigate conflict more effectively. Conflict is an inevitable part of human interaction, but it doesn't have to lead to division or bitterness. When you approach conflict with an understanding mindset, you're less likely to engage in hostile or defensive behavior. Instead, you approach the situation with calm and clarity, seeking solutions that benefit both parties. This willingness to understand rather than react turns potential conflicts into opportunities for growth and deeper connection. It is important to note that fairness and understanding are not just for others. They are also essential in how you treat yourself. To truly gain allies, you must first understand and be fair to yourself. This means acknowledging your strengths and weaknesses, embracing your imperfections, and not allowing guilt or shame to cloud your judgment. Self-fairness is about treating yourself with the same kindness and respect that you offer to others. When you are at peace with yourself, you can interact with others in a calm and balanced manner. This helps you build healthier, more authentic relationships. Additionally, being fair and understanding doesn't mean you have to agree with everyone all the time. Fairness and understanding are about accepting and respecting other people's viewpoints, even when they differ from your own. It's about recognizing that each individual is shaped by their own experiences and values, and those differences are valid. You can disagree with someone, but still treat them with dignity, understanding their reasoning and respecting their right to their beliefs. This creates a space for healthy debate and constructive conversation, rather than escalating conflicts over differences. In building alliances through fairness and understanding, you create a network of people who support you, not just because of what you can offer them, but because they genuinely believe in who you are and what you stand for. Allies who have gained confidence in your character are likely to defend you when necessary and rally behind your causes. They become your partners in times of struggle, supporting you when challenges arise and celebrating your successes with you. These allies are more than just people who are willing to help. They are people who share a deep respect for you and your values. When you build relationships based on fairness and understanding, you also create a strong sense of community. In a community, everyone's voice is heard and everyone's needs are considered. It's a place where individuals collaborate rather than compete, and where the collective good is prioritized over individual gain. Communities built on fairness and understanding are resilient. They are better equipped to face adversity because the people in them work together to solve problems, support each other, and lift each other up. True success in life is not about what you can achieve alone, it's about what you can achieve with others. By gaining allies through fairness and understanding, you create an environment where success is a shared experience. Everyone contributes their strengths and abilities, and in doing so, everyone grows. The more you build fair and understanding relationships, the more you create a powerful network of individuals who are invested in your success as well as their own. These relationships become a source of strength, encouragement, and inspiration, making your journey much more rewarding and fulfilling. Fairness and understanding also help to build resilience. Life is full of challenges, but when you have a network of allies who believe in you, those challenges become easier to overcome. When things go wrong, allies who understand your values and who are committed to fairness will not abandon you. They will stand by your side, offering support and encouragement. In turn, you will become someone others can count on in their times of need. This sense of shared responsibility creates a lasting bond that is not easily broken. In your journey to gain allies, remember that fairness and understanding are not signs of weakness. Some may see fairness as a lack of strength, as if standing up for what's right is a passive act. But fairness is a powerful force. It takes strength to treat others with respect, even when it's not easy. It takes strength to listen to someone with an open heart, even when you disagree. Fairness and understanding are not acts of submission. They are acts of leadership and emotional strength. They are the foundation upon which you build lasting alliances that will carry you through life's most difficult challenges. As you continue on your journey, always strive to lead with fairness and understanding. Treat others with respect and empathy, and you will find that your relationships are stronger, your support system more reliable, and your success more meaningful. In the end, it is the people you have in your corner who will determine your true success, not just in achieving goals, but in creating a life full of authenticity, connection, and purpose. Number 10. Live a life that shames their hatred. Living a life that shames the hatred of others is one of the most empowering ways to exist. Hatred thrives on negativity, division, and anger. But by living a life filled with love, kindness, and success, you send a direct message to those who try to tear you down. They want to see you fail, fall, and break. But by living in a way that defies their hatred, you prove them wrong every single day. You become an example of what strength, resilience, and grace look like when faced with the worst that others can throw at you. To live a life that shames hatred, you first have to focus on your own growth and happiness. It's easy to get caught up in the negativity that others project onto you. Hatred, envy, and bitterness are powerful forces that can drain your energy if you allow them to. Instead of allowing these feelings to consume you, focus on building a life that is full of purpose, joy, and accomplishments. Every achievement, no matter how big or small, becomes a slap in the face to those who wish to see you fail. You become a living testament to the fact that their hatred does not define you, nor does it hold any power over your life. Living a life that shames hatred also means refusing to let negativity cloud your vision. There will always be people who try to bring you down. They might criticize your choices, question your abilities, or even spread lies about you. Instead of retaliating with anger or frustration, choose to live in a way that proves their words mean nothing. Keep your focus on your own path and let your actions speak for themselves. When you choose to rise above the hate, you demonstrate the strength it takes to remain unaffected by the negativity around you. The key to living this kind of life is maintaining your peace, no matter the chaos around you. People who hate often try to drag others into their drama. They thrive on conflict, tension, and frustration. But when you choose to live with calm, dignity, and composure, you show that their anger and bitterness have no place in your world. You become untouchable, unaffected by the petty hate they attempt to sow. Your peace becomes a direct challenge to the storms they try to stir up in your life. One of the most powerful ways to shame hatred is through success. Success is not just measured in wealth or accomplishments, but in your ability to rise above adversity and thrive despite the odds. When you succeed, you show that the hatred of others cannot prevent you from achieving your goals. You prove that nothing can hold you back when you are determined, focused, and resilient. Success is a loud, undeniable response to the forces of hatred and negativity. It's like a beacon that draws attention to the fact that, no matter how hard they try, they cannot stop you. Another way to shame hatred is by living a life of integrity. Integrity means doing the right thing, even when no one is watching, even when it's inconvenient or difficult. When others see that you consistently act with honesty, fairness, and morality, it exposes the falseness of their hatred. People who hate often do so because of insecurity or jealousy, and they will try to drag you into their lies or manipulations. But when you stay true to yourself and your values, you become a beacon of truth that shatters their illusions. Your integrity becomes a direct contrast to their deceit, showing them that their hatred cannot touch your core. Living a life that shames hatred also means surrounding yourself with positivity and support. You don't need to fight hatred alone. The energy of the people you associate with matters. When you align yourself with others who share your values of love, kindness, and personal growth, you create a network of support that helps shield you from negativity. These allies will encourage you to keep going, even when it feels like the weight of the world is against you. Their positivity will act as a shield, deflecting the hatred that others try to throw your way. Together, you create an environment where hate has no place. Living a life that shames hatred also means taking care of your own mental and emotional well-being. Hatred is draining. It steals your energy, eats away at your peace, and holds you back from reaching your full potential. In order to defy it, you must be strong within yourself. This means investing in your own mental health, finding ways to stay positive, and focusing on your personal growth. Whether through meditation, self-care, or simply choosing to be around people who uplift you, make sure you are fortified from the inside out. When your heart and mind are at peace, the hatred around you will not have the power to sway you. It's also important to remember that living a life that shames hatred does not mean avoiding conflict altogether. There will be moments when standing up for yourself, confronting others, or calling out hatred is necessary. But even in those moments, your response should be rooted in grace and dignity. There is strength in responding to hate with calm, measured actions that reflect your values, rather than resorting to the same petty behavior that others may engage in. You can stand your ground without losing your composure, showing those around you that hate cannot control your actions or your life. Living a life that shames hatred also means choosing kindness and compassion. It's easy to hate back when someone has wronged you. It's easy to return cruelty with cruelty, bitterness with bitterness. But when you choose to act with kindness, even when it's hard, you show that your life is too precious to be consumed by hate. You demonstrate that there is no room for negativity in your world, and in doing so, you make it harder for hate to survive. When others see your compassion and your ability to rise above the urge to retaliate, they are forced to confront the ugliness of their own actions. Hatred is often born out of fear of what others represent, fear of success, fear of difference, or fear of being exposed for one's own insecurities. When you live a life that shames hatred, you shine a light on the root of that fear. You prove that fear has no place in a world where love, understanding, and positivity thrive. By living confidently, authentically, and with purpose, you show that fear is a weak force in the face of strength, resilience, and grace. When you live a life that shames hatred, you also inspire others to do the same. People are drawn to those who live with authenticity and integrity. Your example becomes a blueprint for others who may be struggling with the same negativity. When they see how you handle hatred with grace, positivity, and success, they are empowered to do the same in their own lives. Your strength becomes contagious, creating a ripple effect that spreads positivity and love far beyond your own actions. Number 11. Gain power through patience. Gaining power through patience is one of the most underrated yet powerful strategies for success. In a world that demands instant results, patience is often overlooked. Yet patience is not about sitting idly by and waiting for things to happen. It's about knowing when to act and when to let things unfold naturally. True power comes from understanding that not everything is immediate and that the best things in life take time to develop. Those who practice patience are not only able to withstand difficult times, but they also position themselves to take advantage of opportunities when they arise. Patience is a strength that helps you resist the urge to rush through life, making hasty decisions or acting impulsively. The power that comes from patience lies in the ability to remain calm and composed, even in the face of adversity. In moments of stress, most people tend to panic or make decisions based on fear, but those who are patient know how to step back, assess the situation, and wait for the right time to act. This gives them a clear advantage as they make more thoughtful, strategic decisions rather than reacting emotionally or hastily. By practicing patience, you gain control over your emotions. Many people let their emotions dictate their actions, leading to poor choices that can have long-lasting consequences. When you exercise patience, you train yourself to pause, think, and consider the best course of action rather than being swayed by immediate impulses. This emotional control allows you to make better decisions, take calculated risks, and stay focused on your long-term goals, rather than chasing after short-term rewards. Patience also gives you the power to understand the value of timing. Timing is everything in life, whether in business, relationships, or personal growth. Making the right move at the right time can make all the difference. Patience teaches you to wait for the opportune moment rather than forcing things to happen prematurely. It allows you to read the situation carefully and act with precision, ensuring that your efforts are maximized and that you don't waste time or energy on fruitless pursuits. One of the greatest powers that come from patience is the ability to learn from your experiences. Life is filled with ups and downs, but with patience, you allow yourself the space to learn and grow. Patience teaches you resilience as you face challenges without giving up or seeking shortcuts. Instead of rushing to find quick fixes, you focus on mastering the process, improving your skills, and becoming stronger with every setback. This long-term perspective gives you an advantage over those who seek instant gratification as you build solid foundations for your future success. Patience also allows you to appreciate the journey. Most people are so focused on reaching their goals that they forget to enjoy the process along the way. However, true power comes from enjoying each step of the journey, knowing that every challenge you face contributes to your growth. The act of being patient allows you to savor the moments of progress, no matter how small, and find meaning in the struggles you encounter. This mindset shifts your perspective, helping you to stay motivated and connected to your purpose. Through patience, you also learn the art of perseverance. When things don't go according to plan, it's easy to become discouraged. However, patience teaches you to keep going, even when progress seems slow or non-existent. Rather than giving up when faced with obstacles, you learn to keep pushing forward, knowing that every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. This perseverance is a powerful tool for success, as it enables you to weather storms, overcome setbacks, and eventually achieve what others might have given up on. Patience also teaches you the importance of preparation. People who are patient don't rush into things without the proper foundation. They take the time to prepare, research, and plan their actions, ensuring that when the time comes, they are ready. This preparation is what sets them apart from others, as they are able to seize opportunities with confidence, knowing they have laid the groundwork necessary for success. The power of patience is not only internal, but also external. When you are patient with others, you build trust and respect in your relationships. People are drawn to those who are understanding and considerate, and when you exercise patience with them, they are more likely to reciprocate. Patience allows you to form deeper connections with those around you, as it shows that you value them and are willing to invest time in building lasting relationships. Whether it's in a personal or professional context, patience helps you earn the loyalty and respect of others, which is a powerful asset in any aspect of life. In business, patience is particularly valuable. The most successful entrepreneurs and leaders understand that success takes time. They don't expect instant results. They invest their time and energy into building solid strategies, developing their teams, and creating value over the long term. Patience in business means understanding that growth is a process and success doesn't happen overnight. Those who are patient are more likely to make thoughtful decisions, avoid hasty risks, and build sustainable businesses that last. Patience also fosters gratitude. When you practice patience, you begin to appreciate the progress you've made, even if it's slower than expected. You learn to be grateful for the small wins and milestones that contribute to your overall growth. This gratitude helps to fuel your motivation, as it reminds you that the work you put in is paying off, even if the results aren't immediately visible. It encourages you to stay the course, trusting that your patience will eventually lead to the success you desire. Furthermore, patience allows you to create a sense of balance in your life. In a world that encourages hustle and constant activity, patience teaches you to slow down and take care of yourself. It gives you the power to prioritize what matters most and focus on the long term rather than chasing every fleeting opportunity. This sense of balance enables you to live a more fulfilling life as you avoid burnout and stay grounded in what truly matters. Number 12. Remove negative influence. Removing negative influence is a crucial step in taking control of your life and ensuring your personal growth. In a world full of distractions and toxic influences, it's easy to fall into patterns that undermine your success and well-being. Negative influence can come from many sources, people, situations, or even your own self-doubt, and it holds the power to derail your progress and keep you stuck. The first step to overcoming this is recognizing that you have the power to choose who and what impacts your life. The decision to remove negative influences is not just about distancing yourself from harmful people or environments. It's also about consciously choosing to elevate your mindset and focus on what helps you move forward. The people you surround yourself with have a direct impact on your mindset, energy, and overall success. If you're constantly around individuals who bring negativity into your life, whether through gossip, jealousy, or pessimism, their attitudes will slowly seep into your own thinking. The words and actions of others can subtly shape your beliefs, leading you to doubt yourself, your potential, and your ability to achieve greatness. By removing these negative influences, you free yourself from the weight of others' limiting beliefs and open yourself up to the possibilities that come with a more positive and empowering environment. To remove negative influence, you first need to assess your current relationships and environments. Are there people in your life who constantly drain you, make you feel small, or bring negativity to every conversation? Are there situations where you feel stuck or demotivated due to external circumstances? It's important to recognize these influences and acknowledge how they are affecting you. This may involve distancing yourself from certain people or cutting off toxic relationships that have a long-lasting negative impact. Although this can be difficult, it's necessary for your growth. Choosing to walk away from negativity is a sign of strength, not weakness. It's a commitment to protecting your peace and focusing on what truly matters to you. When you remove negative influence, you begin to take control of your mental and emotional state. Your thoughts are powerful, and the more you expose yourself to negativity, the more it becomes a part of your internal dialogue. If you allow negative voices to dominate your thinking, it becomes difficult to believe in yourself or your goals. By cutting out negative influences, you replace them with positive, uplifting, and encouraging ones that push you toward greater success. The more you surround yourself with positive energy, the more you naturally adopt that mindset, leading to healthier habits, better decisions, and an overall improved quality of life. This process doesn't just apply to the people around you, it also includes the content you consume. If you're constantly scrolling through social media, reading news, or watching shows that fuel negativity, you'll be filling your mind with unnecessary distractions and doubts. Consuming content that spreads fear, hatred, or discouragement can have a lasting impact on your mood and outlook on life. It's essential to be mindful of the media you consume and ensure it aligns with your values and goals. Replacing negative content with material that inspires, educates, and motivates you can shift your perspective and reinforce your commitment to growth and self-improvement. One of the most powerful forms of negative influence is self-doubt. The way you talk to yourself has an enormous impact on your actions and achievements. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, capable enough, or worthy enough, you create a mental block that holds you back. This inner negativity can be just as damaging as external negative influences. Removing this form of self-inflicted negativity involves practicing self-compassion and positive self-talk. You have to consciously choose to challenge your negative thoughts and replace them with affirmations and empowering beliefs that support your goals. This mindset shift is vital for personal growth and success. Negative influences also take root in the environments you allow yourself to remain in. If you work in a toxic environment where the culture is unhealthy, your growth will be stunted. If you live in a space filled with clutter, disorganization, or negativity, it will be harder for you to focus and stay motivated. Changing your physical environment, whether that's organizing your space, changing where you work, or finding a place that promotes positivity, can have a profound impact on your mindset. A clean, organized, and inspiring environment encourages productivity and focus, helping you remove distractions and stay grounded in your mission. To remove negative influence, you must also be aware of your own habits and mindset. Often we can be our own worst enemy by engaging in self-sabotaging behavior, like procrastination, overthinking, or giving in to fear. These negative habits prevent us from reaching our full potential. Removing negative influences also means breaking free from these patterns and replacing them with habits that serve you and your goals. This includes being proactive about your health, staying consistent with your work, and choosing actions that align with the person you want to become. Once you remove these negative habits from your life, you free up your energy to focus on your true potential. Another essential aspect of removing negative influence is learning how to set boundaries. Sometimes we tolerate toxic behaviors or negative energy because we don't know how to say no or protect our space. Setting boundaries is crucial to protecting your peace and ensuring that you aren't overwhelmed by negativity. Boundaries might involve saying no to people or situations that drain your energy, limiting your exposure to harmful content, or even setting clear limits on your time and attention. Boundaries are not just about protecting yourself from others. They're about taking ownership of your life and creating an environment where you can thrive. The act of removing negative influence is an ongoing process. It requires consistent self-awareness and the willingness to make hard decisions. You may find that as you grow, some relationships or environments that once served you are no longer healthy for your development. It's essential to regularly assess your surroundings and make adjustments as needed. This doesn't mean cutting off everyone who brings negativity. It means choosing to engage with people and environments that bring out the best in you while distancing yourself from those that hold you back. As you remove negative influences from your life, you'll notice a shift in your energy, mindset, and overall quality of life. You'll start attracting people who share your values and are supportive of your growth. You'll feel more empowered and motivated to take on challenges and pursue your goals. This shift is the result of consciously creating a life where positivity, support, and growth are prioritized. When you remove negative influence, you open up space for new opportunities, healthier relationships, and a brighter future. Number 13. Accept what you cannot control. Accepting what you cannot control is one of the most profound ways to bring peace and clarity into your life. The world is full of unpredictability, and no matter how much you plan or strive, some things are simply beyond your reach. Holding on to the need for control over every aspect of your life creates unnecessary stress and frustration. When you learn to accept that certain circumstances, people, and outcomes are not in your hands, you free yourself from the anxiety of trying to force things to go your way. This acceptance is not about giving up or being passive. It's about finding power in knowing your limits and focusing on what you can influence. The first step in accepting what you cannot control is recognizing what is outside your influence. The actions of others, the weather, the past, and the future are all things that you cannot control. While you can try to influence others or make plans for the future, there is always an element of uncertainty. The more you try to fight against this uncertainty, the more you waste energy and lose focus on what truly matters. When you accept that some things are simply not for you to decide, you start to feel more grounded in the present moment, which is where you can truly make a difference. Trying to control every detail of your life often leads to burnout. The constant striving for perfection, the need for everything to align exactly as you envision, drains your energy and keeps you from enjoying the process. This mindset creates a cycle of dissatisfaction, as things rarely turn out exactly how you expect them to. By accepting what you cannot control, you break free from this cycle. You learn to go with the flow, embrace the unknown, and let go of the pressure to always have everything figured out. This approach creates room for spontaneity and joy, and it opens your life to new experiences you might have overlooked when trying to force everything to fit your plan. One of the most important aspects of accepting what you cannot control is managing your expectations. When you expect life to unfold exactly how you want, you set yourself up for disappointment. The more rigid your expectations, the more likely you are to feel let down when things don't go as planned. By accepting that things may not always go your way, you can adjust your expectations and be more flexible in your approach. This doesn't mean lowering your standards or resigning yourself to failure. It means being open to different outcomes and learning to adapt to circumstances as they unfold. Another critical component of this acceptance is realizing that control is often an illusion. We think we control everything, but many factors, external circumstances, other people's decisions, or even random events shape our lives in ways we can't predict. Understanding that you only have control over your own reactions and decisions can be liberating. You may not be able to control a difficult situation, but you can control how you respond to it. Your ability to choose your attitude, stay calm, and make decisions with a clear mind in the face of uncertainty is where your true power lies. This shift in perspective allows you to navigate challenges with resilience, without feeling helpless or frustrated by things outside your control. In relationships, accepting what you cannot control means recognizing that you cannot change other people's actions or beliefs. You may want others to behave a certain way or to think like you, but the reality is that they are their own individuals with their own perspectives. By accepting this, you stop trying to change them and focus instead on how you can contribute to the relationship in a positive way. You realize that the only person you can truly change is yourself, and you shift your energy toward improving your own actions, attitudes, and responses. This acceptance fosters healthier, more peaceful relationships as it removes the unrealistic expectation of trying to mold others to fit your vision. When you accept what you cannot control, you start to make peace with uncertainty. Life is filled with unknowns, future events, people's decisions, and even your own emotions. Instead of fearing the unknown, you learn to embrace it, understanding that it's a natural part of life. You no longer need everything to be certain before moving forward. You trust that things will unfold as they're meant to, and you learn to adapt to changes with confidence and grace. This mindset shifts your approach to life from one of fear to one of trust and openness. Embracing acceptance also means releasing the need for perfection. Perfection is often an unattainable standard that causes more harm than good. When you let go of the idea that everything must be perfect, you give yourself the freedom to make mistakes, learn, and grow. You stop fearing failure and start seeing it as a necessary part of the journey. With this mindset, you begin to embrace progress over perfection, recognizing that what matters most is your willingness to keep moving forward, regardless of the obstacles that arise. When you stop focusing on what you cannot control, you become more present in the here and now. You shift your focus from worrying about what could go wrong or what hasn't happened yet, and instead, you invest your energy into the present moment. Being present allows you to make the most of your circumstances, regardless of whether they are exactly what you wanted. This shift in focus enables you to appreciate the little things and find joy in everyday moments, instead of being consumed by the desire to control everything around you. Learning to accept what you cannot control also teaches you patience. Patience is a key element in navigating life's uncertainties. When you stop trying to control everything, you realize that some things take time to unfold, and rushing them only causes more stress. Patience allows you to trust the process and know that things will happen when the time is right. With patience, you develop the resilience to face life's challenges with grace and perseverance, rather than frustration and anxiety. At its core, accepting what you cannot control is about surrendering to the flow of life. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how much you plan, some things will happen beyond your control. Instead of fighting against these forces, you learn to flow with them, trusting that they are part of your journey. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up. It means accepting that you are not the one in charge of everything, but you can always choose how you respond. When you embrace this mindset, you create space for peace, growth, and acceptance in your life.